Welcome back to the Skift Daily Briefing. It's Thursday, May 7th. I'm Sarah Dandashi, and this time I'm in New York City. But today, new government data puts a jaw-dropping number on what the Iran war is costing U.S. airlines. The founders of Kayak are back, and they're building something new for Booking Holdings. And Disney's parks are seeing fewer visitors, but somehow making more money. Let's go ahead and get into it. First up, we now have official numbers on just how badly the Iran war has hammered U.S. airline fuel costs, and they are striking. According to new data from the Department of Transportation, U.S. airlines spent $5.06 billion on fuel in March alone. For context, that is up 56% from just 1 month earlier when the industry spent $3.23 billion. So in 2 months, the average price of a gallon of fuel has jumped more than 30%. And as of this week, it's sitting at $4.18 a gallon. So to put that in really plain terms, as though we need even plainer terms, airlines are spending billions more on fuel than they budgeted for, and they're passing that cost on to you. There have already been 5 industry-wide fare increases. American, Delta, United, Southwest, JetBlue, and Alaska have all raised baggage fees. And the ripple effects go beyond your wallet. Spirit Airlines cited fuel costs as the primary reason it shut down just last weekend. Budget carriers are still lobbying for a $2.5 billion government bailout, though the transportation secretary has cooled on the idea. Delta's CEO has said that high fuel prices are forcing the industry to either improve, consolidate, or face being eliminated. The takeaway here, fuel is the defining story of 2026 in travel, and until the Iran war winds down, there's no clear end in sight. Next up, a fun scoop. The founders of Kayak, Steve Hafner and Paul English, are quietly building an AI travel startup for Booking Holdings called Lola. So here's the backstory. Hafner left Kayak after 22 years earlier this year to work on AI projects at Booking Holdings. English, Kayak's former chief technology officer, is working with him part-time. And they just launched a splash page for Lola.com with the tagline, "Insider access to the world's leading travel brands. Better rates, better options, better everything. Just ask." And that "just ask" is a clear signal that this is a conversational AI play, meaning that you chat with Lola to find and book travel rather than searching through the traditional way. Booking Holdings brands like Booking.com and Agoda are expected to be partners, along with the ticketing platform SeatGeek. And here's the fun bit of trivia. When Hafner and English originally co-founded what became Kayak back in 2004, their first choice of name was actually Lola, but it cost $1 million. So they went with Kayak for $30,000 instead. So now, more than 20 years later, they finally got the name. So how does this impact you? Well, if Lola works as advertised, it could be one of the first genuinely useful AI travel agents, built by the people who already rewired how we search for flights once before. And finally, Disney just reported earnings, and the theme park numbers tell a very interesting story. U.S. park attendance was actually down 1% last quarter. Hotel occupancy slipped too, and Disney pointed to fewer international visitors and competition from Universal's new Epic Universe in Orlando. So basically, fewer people showed up. But here's the thing. The people who did show up spent more. Per capita spending at U.S. parks was up 5%. Per room guest spending was up 7%. And Disney's overall experiences division, parks, cruises, consumer products, hit record second quarter revenues, up 7% to nearly $9.5 billion. So new CEO Josh D'Amaro also laid out a tech-forward vision for the parks, with AI playing a bigger role in trip planning, personalization, and even labor forecasting. Disney is expanding its cruise fleet from 8 to 13 ships by 2031 and has a new ship launching in Japan. Bookings on the cruise side are described as very strong. So in a nutshell, Disney is doing what every smart travel company is doing right now, leaning into high-value guests who spend more rather than chasing volume. Fewer visitors, bigger checks. That's the playbook. Well, that's it for your Skift Daily Briefing. For more industry news, head to skift.com. And as always, subscribe at skift.com/daily. Thanks so much for listening.